to be demonstrating procedure 29-1, one color method of UV gel polish, on tips or natural nails finished with a gel polish. So we're actually going to do a full length tip on this mannequin hand today as a natural nail. So we're not going to cut it or anything. We're going to leave her length. So we're going to do an overlay. So the first thing you would want to do is take your some polish remover, and you would want to take off any existing polish or anything coming in to the shop. First and foremost, they're going to wash their hands first. But after we've done our pre-service, this is going to be the service beginning. So we're going to remove any polish. Then we're going to shape the free edge. We're going to do our manicure, whatever shape that they desire. So we always perform our prep. It's going to be performing our manicure. Then we're going to remove the shine. So just take any of the shine away. The product will not stick to shine. You can also use a buffer just to remove the shine. All right. So during our manicure steps, if the client, of course, was a real client, we want to push back the cuticle. So push back the cuticle, remove any dead tissue, and then we would remove our shine. Okay. And then we're going to eliminate dust. So now we're going to dehydrate, because we've got to get rid of any moisture. So you dehydrate. Now if I was doing this on a tip, which we can, our practical said tip, we would have done the dehydration and then we would have applied our tip. So we would have shortened it, shaped it, and all that. But this client doesn't need it. She's got plenty of nails, plenty of length. So now we're going to do our primer. Depending on the gel system you're using, this is a gel system. Their bonder or their primer or whatever they're going to recommend is going to be what you use in their system. So we're going to use primer today. And now we're going to do our base coat. Some systems might have a base gel, base coat, base something, some type of adhesion. But you're going to like wiggle this one kind of into those grooves we made and into that primer that we have. So that way it's going to really adhere. So you're just going to do one thin coat of base gel. Cap your free edge. From cuticle to free edge on the natural nail. This is our natural nail. So now we're going to cure her for the recommended amount of time, which is going to be about 60 seconds for this base gel. All right. So now her base gel is cured, and we're going to perform our one color method. So today we're actually going to use a rose color because it's a clear tip, and if I use clear, it's going to be really hard for y'all to see. So we're going to do rose. Generally, one color is clear. So if you have any theory questions that ask you a one color method, it's going to be clear. But today we're just doing pink so you all can see it. All right. So what you're going to do first is you're going to make sure that you keep your gel out from in front of your curing lamp first and your brush and all of your things. But every time you have the light on, don't have it out. So I'm going to grab a small bead of our one color. So I just have one little small bead. And I'm going to brush it on from cuticle area to free edge, kind of like regular polish. This is just going to be our guide for our bigger bead to fall into. Because with an overlay, you're not building much apex because they already have nice length. You just need some strength. So once you get that on, you don't cure. This is going to be our first builder coat. Sometimes you have to do two depending on how long the nails are. Sometimes you can get away with one. So if the gel is already wet, you're going to roll off your bead and it's going to sink into the gel that was below it where you left it. So you're going to rock it back and forth, not disconnecting your brush from the gel, but you're going to kind of use it back and forth. See how I move the finger and not my brush? I'm rotating the finger back and forth. And I'm going to do it all the way down to the free edge. Okay? So now once I've done that, I'm going to clean my brush off real good, cover my gel, and we're going to cure that first coat. All right, so after you've cured that first coat, you want to go in with your second coat. The reason you want to do this in more than one step is because heat can build up with gel, so you don't want to put it on too thick so fast because then the client can get really hot inside the lamp. So we're going to go into our second coat to actually build it up. We got a good thickness on, a little apex started, but we're going to do it one more time. So I'm actually going to do the same thing I just did. The only reason I'm going to actually do a slip again is because the temperature of the room can actually change the gel consistency, so I don't want it to run into the sidewalls. So every time you do that slip layer below that bigger bead, it just kind of helps keep it in the parameters that you want. So this time, I'm actually got a coat of gel on, so her natural nail plate is protected with product. So now she shouldn't feel as much heat. I'm going to use a much bigger bead. So I'm going to once again place the bead. I roll it off, but I still connect it. And I'm going to work it up to the cuticle area, because that's where we want to keep the bulk of our product. So you put more pressure when you want it to flatten out, and then you just float it when you want to keep it thicker. So as I get to the bottom, as I built my apex, I want to start tapering the bottom. I'll put a little more pressure to smooth it out, because that's going to give us our nice contour. So I'll check it from the side. I've got a little situation right here where there's a low spot, so I can pick up a string and kind of work it to fill in that low spot. All right, and then once I like the way it looks, then I'll cure it. Okay. All right, so after you have cured your second coat, we are going to make sure that our structure is the way we want, which it's fine. And then I'm going to remove the inhibition layer. So this is where a lot of people don't really know what to do. It's still shiny. They're used to acrylic being flat when it's dry. Well, it's sticky. So if you notice, I have on gloves. So I don't want to touch it because it's uncured product. It's a chemical. So we want to make sure that we're going to be mindful we're going to use alcohol with a cotton pad or a lint-free pad, preferably lint-free because cotton gets stuck to gel. But right now we're using cotton. And you want to keep it off the skin. So as you notice, I'm not like wiping it over her finger. You want to keep it on the nail plate and wipe straight down, because you don't want any of that uncured product to get on her skin. So now she's not sticky anymore. She's ready to be filed. So we're going to just file the perimeter as we normally would in shape. Gel is super, super soft. So if you're familiar with acrylic, you'll be over filing gel. So just use a softer hand. You won't even have to use a 100 grit nail file. You will only use 180, because the 100 grit will actually take off too much product. So you're just going to go over your basic filing routine and just shape your nail. So what we're going to do with this nail is we're going to finish it with gel polish. So for this actual procedure, when I get done shaping it and lightly buffing it, we'll be ready to go right into polish. And she wanted a natural squoval, so that's what we did. And as you see, I love gel because, I don't know if you could tell, it's still shiny where I haven't hit it. It's kind of flat around the edges. So that kind of helps me know where my highs and lows are, because I'm able to contour it with the shine that's still there, because that means it's a low spot I haven't hit yet. So it kind of lets me know what's going on. And if I have too many low spots when I'm done, that means I don't have enough product on it. All right. So she looks pretty good. All right, so we're going to always remove our dust. You never want to have gel polish, use top coat or color on top of dust, because that will get bubbles in your polish. If you ever have bubbles in your polish and you want to know why, you either shook it too much or you tended to put dust in it. I didn't learn that for years, just so you know. So with a dusty nail, no base coat, we're going to go right into our actual gel polish application. So we're going to do red today because, of course, state board red, everybody has to do red polish at state board. It's one of the harder colors to polish. So all we're going to do is polish traditionally like normal polish. And you're going to fan your brush around your cuticle. Take your edge and then bring it down the side. All right, cap your tip. Then you're going to cure for the manufacturer's recommended time. All right, so we actually went ahead and put in our second coat the same way we did our first coat and went ahead and cured it to save time. So now we're going to go in and with our top coat. So once again, on a gel nail or even an acrylic enhancement, we're not going to go in with base coat. We always are going to buff it to a roughy, dusty, no shine nail, not too smooth, but just enough texture. And then we're going to put 2 coats of color and a coat of top. We're going to cure in between each coat for the recommended manufacturer's time. All right, so after we've cured our top coat for the time that's recommended, then we would put cuticle oil on our client's surrounding skin and massage that in and present the look to them and see if they like it.